Greetings. Mwananchi Communications Limited believes in gender equality. With this, last year, Mwananchi Communications Limited initiated the Citizen Rising Woman. The initiative aims at documenting successful stories on women leaders to inspire young girls and other women to be leaders. With me, your host, Salome Gregory, is Bulla Boma, the co-founder and director of Hebo Group Company Limited, trading as Hebo Consulting. Greetings, Bulla, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Salome. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. So today we'll be talking about your career journey and what inspired you to be where you are today. So tell us, how did it start? Tell us about your journey.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity of actually being able to contribute to this wonderful initiative of raising women, and sharing my journey would be a pleasure to be able to inspire others as well. So my journey started, I'll start with my career journey, which started about 16 years ago.
Quite some time.
I started off with my first bachelor's degree, which was in computing and information systems. That's where I basically started off as an IT or information systems specialist. And then eventually I also added a second degree in project management. That was an MBA, a master's in project management. In terms of working, right after my first degree, I had an opportunity to work in a banking institution, Exim Bank to be specific, as a banking officer, but I did not do that for so long. It was for about a year, and I moved into telecommunication, where I basically now worked in the technical department, so I got to explore my IT skills a little bit. Soon after that, I diversified now into projects. So working in the telco industry actually helped me grow a lot, technically, but also in terms of project management. I worked in the technical department. I worked in platforms. I worked with platforms. I supervised projects that had to do with development of platforms and also development of different products that are configured within those platforms. I did that for a while. Technically, it helped me build my technical skills, but I wanted to sort of diversify and do more, to explore the world of project management, and not just in the technical aspect, but also in the business side. Fortunately, in the organization that I was in, that was Tigo Tanzania by then, which is under Millicom, there was an opportunity in the commercial department, which is the business department, and it was a project management opportunity. I wasn't very, I didn't have much experience in projects, but I was always very much interested in seeing an initiative or creating a product, and not just creating it on the technical aspect, but also being able to see it grow and benefit the final users. So with that and the opportunity that came, I applied for that position, and thankfully I got that position, which was a promotion. Wow. So I moved from being a planning leader from the technical department, and I moved to the commercial department as a project manager. Okay. Back then that was VAS project manager, which is value-added services. These are services that you create for customers, added services on top of the normal services that telecommunication providers provide, like mobile calling and SMS. There are other entertainment and value-adding services that consumers enjoy.
So you had a very quick transition from banking, just a year, then into telecommunication. Where did you build that muscle and the confidence of make that transition? How did it happen quickly?
I would say maybe luck, but also not just luck. Another thing is the network that I had. Thankfully, from some of the colleagues that I studied with, actually a good friend of mine told me that he was already working at Tigo back then, so he got to share that information that there is a potential opportunity, go ahead and apply. So I would also attribute it to networking as well, but not just networking, the courage and the will to actually try something new. Some of the colleagues that I worked with at Exim actually stayed there for long. Maybe some of them are still there, but I did not stay for long. I stayed for about a year. As soon as I heard this opportunity, I was like, why not give it a try? You know, let's give it a try and see how it goes. And it sounded interesting, it sounded exciting, and because it was the technical department, I have a technical background in information systems, which is also IT. I figured, you know what, this is something to try. So I got the opportunity, I went for it. So after I transitioned from the technical department into the commercial department, which is the business department, where now I was working as a project manager. I was sort of the integral part between what is being created and sold to the consumer versus what is actually being done on the back end, in the back end, which is the technical side. That was very, very interesting because I was in the middle, I was coordinating with different stakeholders, and I was also getting an opportunity to see the business side, because with creation of products in any business, creation of services, it's not just about building those services, but it's also about selling them and generating the right revenue or the returns to the company, to the organization. So being in that opportunity gave me really a chance to see that project management is actually something that adds value. So that's when I went and pursued my master's degree in project management, and then I also did my professional certification, that is the PMP, which now also helped me elevate my profile, but also elevate my skills, because then I acquired global standards and global practices. It really helps me even pave my way into project management. And that's when I actually quite started practicing in a very formal way in project management.
So in that journey of yours to project management until now, what were the challenges that came through when you growing up, and how did they shape you to be who you are today and where you are today?
Plenty of challenges, but also plenty of opportunities, because project management is all about coordinating and setting a good structure, setting a good framework in order to achieve the results that have been planned to be achieved. So through that, and also because I've had an opportunity to work in diverse industries, I've had an opportunity to work not just in the banking sector, in the telecommunications sector. I've had an opportunity to work in real estate, which is in construction, yes, and agribusiness as well, together with now in the education and consulting industry. Through navigating all those industries, definitely there are challenges and there's lots to learn. Some of the challenges include the whole aspect of navigating and dealing with different stakeholders. As you navigate different industries, you of course learn different things, but also you've got to learn the fundamentals of those that particular industry. You've got to learn the technicalities. I mean, I started as an IT professional, as an IT specialist, but being a project manager, I managed to navigate even in construction and actually be part of project teams in construction, manage construction projects, and then on top of that, move even to other businesses like agribusiness, which is the poultry business, from setting it up all the way to scaling it. So the challenge, back to the challenge, challenges are many because I've had to quickly learn in order to adapt into a new field or new industry. So with that, you know, you get into an industry because you're new, people will judge and think, what do you know? you know.
Yeah.
So it really helped me not just look at it as a challenge, but to look at it as an opportunity to grow, to continue to pursue learning, to really, when I'm in an when I get an opportunity, when I get a project, I really immerse myself in it, so that I deal with those challenges of being looked at as if I don't know what I'm doing, or as if I'm not qualified enough to actually deliver on the projects or
Where is
deliver
that
on
coming
the
from
roles.
specifically? Like being looked at someone who doesn't know what she's doing?
That happens. I think it's human nature. People get intimidated. You know, people get intimidated when they see possibly somebody new, and they have no idea where they're coming from. You know, people like to be in their comfort zone. So whenever either a new person or even a new concept is introduced, we're seeing that a lot now with technology. Everything is evolving so fast. Not everybody embraces it very quickly. So I can understand that, having navigated in different industries, different sectors. It is normal when I come into a team, people will feel like, you know, because they're intimidated, they take it out on the person who's just joined in. Or what do you know? Where did you even come from? Are you even qualified? But the best thing for me is because I've actually invested in myself, I have invested in learning, it's never been that big of a problem. I know that I'm qualified. I know that I actually put in the time and put in the work to learn. And I am also professionally globally certified as a project manager. With that certification as well, I carry it with pride. It gives me the confidence to actually go in and use those global standards, regardless of the industry, to be able to set up the right frameworks, set up the right processes and systems to be able to deliver. Key thing I would say is to deliver, regardless of what people are thinking, is to just deliver, prove them wrong. Yeah, show them that it's actually doable.
At some point, did you feel that because you are a woman and somewhere it was a bit for you hard to be accepted or to be considered?
That feeling comes sometimes,
And,
but
and what about the reality, the feeling and the reality?
I'll speak about the feeling first. It's there, it happens, you know, being living and working in plenty of industries that are mostly male dominated. It does happen that I go in as the newbie, being a woman as well. There will be that feeling of not being accepted or not be people feeling like I'm not good enough. But it's never really stopped me. Maybe I will attribute that to the foundation that I've had as a child from the family that I come in. I come from a family with very supportive parents, and all my siblings are girls, so we have grown up in a
women's territory,
yes,
per se.
Yes, and our parents always did everything that they could to make sure that we feel that we are actually able, we are actually equal. So I, do not know about the male-dominated industry because I did not grow up in. So when I get into a workplace, it doesn't matter whether I am engaging and working with male or female, we're all the same. What matters is the skills that we bring to the table, is the capacity that to deliver, that we put on the projects that we work in, and that's what has been a drive for me. So it's really not about being a male or a female. Of course, I know in the world that we live in that's there, but the way that I deal with it is not really give it so much thought or let it hold me back, but rather do what I have to do. I know I'm competent in any project. I have to learn it, but I have the foundational skills, so I use those to make it through and succeed in the projects that I undertake.
So with the amount of investment you have made for yourself over the years, and what's different from whatever you have been doing back then and what you are doing currently at Herbal Group?
Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about what Herbal Consult does. Herbal Consult is a brand that trades under Herbal Group. This is a project management training and consulting firm. It is a firm that officially was founded about 2 years back. This is a firm that does projects in the discipline that I am passionate about. As a project manager for all these years, and with the experience that I have under my wing in working in different sectors, working on a variety of projects from construction all the way to technology, to education, and even agribusiness as well, it was only fair at some point to be able to start sharing, start impacting some of the knowledge that I already have to others, because I'm a firm believer that knowledge is power. Yeah. We have so many struggles as women, but as a nation as well. We have so many projects that are ongoing, a lot of development projects, you know, the government and all its stakeholders are actually right now implementing so many projects. We already know, from infrastructure all the way to transportation, to oil and gas. Plenty of projects ongoing, but do we have the right professionals? Do we have professionals who are equipped with the right skills to actually see these projects through to succeed? Because we know the challenges that we have in our projects in terms of delivery, in terms of quality, in terms of even utilization of the funds, and that's project management. So I figured I do have this knowledge, but let me not keep it to myself. Specifically also to add on to that is the global practices. You know, we're not the only nation that's developing and facing challenges. There are others as well. And we have developed nations. These global standard certifications actually originated from there. I'll talk a little bit about PMI, but back to HEBO, and the reason why we actually started doing what we're doing is because of that knowledge gap. We did notice that there is a knowledge gap, and I, together with my partner who is a co-founder of HEBO Consult, decided that, okay, it's time to do something. Let's start to impact this knowledge. So back in 2020, we applied for an accreditation, an authorization by PMI, which is the Global Project Management Institute. It's currently located, headquarters is in US, but they have chapters everywhere. This institution is the one that offers these global credentials for project management. So we went ahead and applied for that accreditation, and we got it approved after a vigorous process. We got the approval process, and that's how we officially kicked off HEBO Consult. So what HEBO Consult does is that we train and consult on project management best practices. We have diverse trainings, but the flagship is to basically be able to upskill these professionals who are undertaking different projects within our nation, to ensure that they get these global standard professional certifications, such as the PMP, that's the most common one, which is the project management profession, and a lot of others like the CAPM, risk management, portfolio management, and so forth. These are global standard, so they have been tested, they have been proven to work in other industries. So instead of reinventing the wheel or continuing to make the mistakes on ground, it's better to also be able to equip professionals with these global standards so they can improve on the processes, improve on the frameworks, and also improve on the execution of the projects. So I'm happy to say that HEBO Consult finally acquired that accreditation from PMI, and we became the first local institution or local firm that is accredited by PMI and authorized to offer these global certifications. So we are an authorized training partner of PMI, and that's why we also work very closely with PMI Africa and also the PMI Tanzania chapter.
You talked about the gap on professionals who have skills that can support us to manage the projects. You can correct me, you might know more, you know better than me because it's your field. I think we don't have more than 150 experts in that area of project management. You can tell us about the numbers and What are the results of that? What are we lacking? What are the dangers we are likely to face because of lack of experts in that area?
So we do have, you're right about the statistics, we have less than 150 PMPs, which are project management professionals here in Tanzania. There may be more professionals, but they are experts that come from abroad, and they come as consultants to actually execute projects locally. Globally, there's over 1.4 or maybe 1.5 million PMPs who are undertaking projects everywhere in the world. But in Tanzania, our number is still very small. Maybe it's attributed to several different things, including awareness, mostly I would attribute it to awareness and understanding of the relevance of these certifications. But the challenge is that we are pouring funds, the government is pouring funds together with all other donor partners and other stakeholders, pouring funds into development projects. But not just development projects, we've got environmental projects, we've got projects in the energy sector, in oil and gas. We also have other projects in fashion and design, you know. So a lot of investment is going into the projects. If these projects are not well managed, we're losing on that investment. We want to maximize on the return on investment for the projects that we are undertaking as a country, as a nation, but also as businesses and personal projects. Now, what these certifications do, they upskill the professionals who are already technically savvy, technically competent in their fields. If you're an engineer, you are capable technically, you've got the technical skills in your area. But if you add on to these certifications, you are adding on that extra layer of success. Because the project management professional certifications focus on three main areas or three main pillars. You get the technical skills, the leadership skills, because project managers are leading project teams, or the people who are executing projects. Projects are never executed by one person. You have a team of people, so you need leadership skills. But also business acumen, which is strategic business thinking. Again, it's an investment. When you're undertaking a project, you are investing. You need to get the returns on investment. So the danger is that as we continue to invest on the projects, we need to be able to invest and empower the people who are given yes, yeah. So if they are not well skilled and not well empowered, that's a problem. We have very few professionals in the country. I believe that we need a lot more, and that's what we also advocate for, to get more professionals so our projects can be executed smoothly and can run successfully, so we get the returns on investment.
You didn't go into details about the dangers.
Yeah, because they're there, because they're not free, they're not cheap, you know, and we need to, as a developing country, we need to execute them. So we're already on the right track, but we need to empower our professionals who are overseeing these projects to actually have the right skills so that they can have a holistic success story in the implementation, be able to manage resources properly, be able to also deliver our projects at the quality that was intended to be delivered.
So with all that, the gaps and what you are doing for the past 2 years, what seems interesting? What are you excited at?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. So the biggest project that we are undertaking right now is a new program that we have just launched at Hebo Consult. This is called the Future Project Professionals. We call it the FPP. This project is basically targeting youth. It's targeting fresh graduates. It's targeting early career professionals who are just getting out of university and they are navigating into the challenging dynamics of the employment market. We all know the challenges of the current employment market. We know that we have a lot of graduates coming out of university,
Yeah, a lot.
And the job opportunities that are available are definitely not enough. I understand and I know that the government, together with all stakeholders in the education industry and other industries, are doing a lot of initiatives to minimize this gap. But we also, as a private institute, a private firm, we also have a role to play in combating this situation and bridging this gap between the actual opportunities versus the number of graduates that are coming out of university. So this program, I'll speak a little bit about this program. This program is for fresh graduates. Fresh graduates come out of university very confused, They have expectations, and then they come out, they find the situation is completely different. There are no job opportunities. Everybody is applying for jobs. They're not there. They're not enough, They get frustrated because their parents, their relatives and sponsors actually spent money in getting them through university. And then they come out, they were already trained to be thinking that I'm going to graduate, I'm going to get a job. You get into the market, there are no jobs. You stay for years, for 2 years, 3 years, there are no jobs. It's very frustrating, very confusing and challenging for the graduates. So we structured this program to be able to actually help them navigate the dynamics of the job market. We are working to create future project professionals. Project professionals who are competent to actually oversee and be part of these numerous projects that are ongoing in the market in our nation. Because we are authorized by PMI to train on these global certifications. So it's a 4-month program where we equip these graduates with the global credential, which is called the CAPM. This is a Certified Associate in Project Management. So on top of their degrees, they get that added qualification, which is globally recognized, to become global project managers or associate project managers in this case. So they're ready to take up the challenges in the market in executing projects. They're immediately ready to become project managers. But on top of that, we also mentor and coach them as they prepare to navigate from studying, from academics and university, all the way to the employment and project world. We also help them work on enhancing and improving their digital presence in terms of their digital profiles, digital professional profiles like LinkedIn and so forth. We help them create good profiles and good CVs, and also we train them, we work with recruiters to train them to prepare for opportunities in interviews, to set themselves up ready to be able to succeed in interviews. But the other big part, which I feel like is very interesting, is to be able to coach them, to prepare them to change their mindsets and to be ready for the market, to be ready to get opportunities. That includes looking inwards, a mindset change, be ready that it's hard out there. Prepare, make yourself, elevate yourself, differentiate yourself in the market. You do have your degree in engineering, say.
That was the difference.
Yeah, but there's so many others with that same degree. Elevate yourself, in your way of thinking, in your way of working, in your way of approaching opportunities. And then through PMI Tanzania chapter, we also offer them volunteering opportunities.
Exactly, which you are part of it and you volunteer.
Yes, so we try to also start to engage them to be working or understanding the practical environments of projects, because we have the few certified professionals that we have. Some of them have agreed to actually join the program to become mentors, so they get to mentor them. These are already experienced people who are working on different projects, so they mentor the young. So it's a 4-month program that we have just started, but we expect by the time a graduate completes the program, they're a well-rounded professional whose frame of thinking has changed, the way they conduct themselves has changed, but they've also acquired that global certification. And that global certification actually means that you don't just look at opportunities here, you also look at opportunities globally because you're qualified. We keep saying these professional certifications they put you on the radar, they put you on the same level as a project manager in New York, a project manager in South Africa, because you're going to have acquired those hand-on skills that you can implement in any project. And I say this because I am proof of that. I have managed to navigate in different industries, mostly because of that.
That's quite interesting. And which criteria are you using to enroll these graduates? And since it's a 4-month project, how many are you planning to train for 2022?
So it's a 4-month program, and we've just started with the first cohort. With the first cohort, we've started with, we've selected those students who already stand out in universities. We've selected students who are association leaders from different universities. We've started with here in Dar es Salaam, but we're hoping to be able to upscale that program to other universities in regions as well. And then we will continue to improve on it. But for our first cohort, it's about 20 students who are association leaders from different university associations who are doing different programs. So we have some in engineering, some from the medicine, from MUHAS, and then we have some from Tumaini University, we have a few from IFM and so forth. So it's a mixed group of students who are about to graduate, who are coming from different universities, meaning different fields as well. So we're preparing them, we're working with them, and we're mentoring and coaching them, and we're also giving them these global certifications. And we hope to also be able to partner with other institutions to actually be able to, at the end of the program, be able to offer them placements because they will have come out very competent.
You talked about volunteering, of which you are part of it at PMI chapter, Tanzania chapter. Why is it important, and why are you equipping them with volunteering?
Thank you. So I was part of, I'm still a volunteer. I've been a volunteer for a while. For about a year, I was also part of the board of the PMI chapter here in Tanzania, which is also a volunteership position. And actually my roles were in creating volunteership programs. And that's where I also had an opportunity to work with different youth, to also organize different programs that are geared towards giving people opportunity to interact, to maybe set up conferences, to set up different workshops, to also engage with the diverse group of professionals that are members of the chapter and also non-members of the chapter. So I'm still volunteering, not as a board member, but I'm still volunteering. I'm still very much engaged in all of the initiatives by PMI Tanzania, which is also partly advocating for project management best practices, advocating for awareness of project management in our country. Because you see, the issue with project management as a discipline, especially here in our country, it hasn't really picked up. You know, we know other professions are already known as, you know, professional disciplines. Engineers have their board, which is ARB. You will find that auditors have their board. Professionals in the finance sector, they even have their qualifications such as the CPA and all other related qualifications. But with project management, the awareness is still low. So part of the volunteering work that I'm doing with PMI Tanzania chapter is also to be able to continue to advocate for this discipline to be known and to be given the weight that it deserves, mostly because we do have many projects. Not to disregard the professionals who are already in construction, who are already engineers, but to also add on, to collaborate and add on these global standards, global practices on top of their engineering or even ICT. We've got projects, a lot of projects in ICT as well. So that's what I do with PMI, and that's the main role for PMI, advocacy for project management here in Tanzania, but also globally. And also to answer your second question in volunteering, why it's important for those who are not yet volunteering, also for the younger professionals who are just upcoming. It's really a good opportunity to learn. You know, we are all long life learners. The dynamics in every industry are changing. We are now becoming, actually we're already a digital world. Every industry, from the finance industry to communication industry to technology to infrastructure, we're becoming more and more globalized and digitized. So volunteering gets you to meet with other professionals. It's a good networking opportunity. It's a good knowledge sharing opportunity. Whatever you have as a professional, if you share that with others, I'm a believer that when you share, you also get back. You know, so for those who are starting off, this is a good chance to volunteer and to be able to share the knowledge and the experience and the skills you have, and then you're going to get even more. You'll get it back in tenfold, so I say.
You're doing quite interesting, and with all this, there's this part of leadership. What is your leadership skill? Style, what is your leadership style?
I would say it's diverse. I want to say it's situational. I work a lot with younger and older professionals because I work with a diverse group of people. My leadership style, I find myself having to shift it depending on the situation that I am in. So, for example, with our team at Hebo Consult, we are mostly, it mostly comprises of young graduates, and they sometimes need to be nurtured and guided and coached as well. And there are times when I'm dealing with professionals who are hard-headed, I would say, and I need to be more, I need to be more authoritative and more directive as well. So it all depends on the situation. I would shift my leadership style to apply emotional intelligence, to shift it to work according to the situation that I'm in.
Oh, nice. I've realized about 8% here at Hebo, it's women staff. What makes that? Maybe do you have like a specific policy to push girls and women to be at the top, to grab top positions? What makes this?
As a female co-founder of this firm, of this organization, I know the importance of uplifting other women as well. So the way our policies are structured, the way our culture here at Hebo is structured is really all about equality. We're about diversifying our skills, we're about fostering creativity and really having equal opportunities for all. We, of course, you're right, we're about 80% women. It is a lot. That is not by chance, but also somewhat it is, you know. It's easier, I don't want to say it's easier because we really give equal opportunities, but yes, we prefer more women. Again, it speaks for itself. We are nurturers, we embrace creativity. When we do apply for jobs, of course, we look out to give more opportunities for women, to interview and encourage that. So in our applications, we also encourage women to apply. And maybe that's why we also end up with more women. But I believe that women can actually, very innovative, very creative, and that's the spirit that we look out for in our organization. So not to discriminate the men as well.
Leave them behind.
No, we don't want to exactly leave them behind, but we hire based on the skills, based on what someone brings on the table, and then we really embrace creativity and innovation. Yeah, and we continue to nurture our team. It's a fairly young team, lots of graduates as well. So we coach them and we nurture them. We want to see them go even further and succeed in their careers.
So for women who want to be leaders in the future, or they are struggling, they have been in the same place for years and years, and some have refused to grow. What is your advice? And maybe what are the key 3 things that one should look at and stick at for them to grow?
I know that as women we go through lots of challenges. We go through different challenges in different stages in our lives. That's a no-brainer. From growing up all the way to, you know, getting married and raising children. So it can really be daunting. It can be an experience where you can be caught up into your own challenges and not be able to look outwards. But those who are actually looking to grow, or for the women who have actually stagnated, I would say, get out of your own head, first of all. You know, sometimes we fear or we hold ourselves back. You know, we stay, it's very comfortable at the comfort zone, but guess what? There is no growth at the comfort zone. So if you're looking for growth, definitely you've got to step out of your comfort zone. There is the fear of, you know, fear of unknown, fear of not being accepted, fear of failing. We have so many things going on in our heads. But if you are actually looking to grow, you should look for challenges. You know, so for the women who are out there who are looking for growth, who are looking for expansion, get out of your own head. Take those challenges. Take the step that you want to go to. So if you have an idea, if it is a promotion within your organization, if it's a new business you want to start, take that first step. First of all, learn the skills that you need to learn in order to be able to actually deliver. If it's a promotion, learn the skills so that you can understand what is required and gain those skills so you can deliver in the promotion. And then apply for the jobs. You know, there's this other thing that we have as women, that there will be 5 criteria in a job that is advertised, and because you don't have one, you don't apply. While with men, they may just have just one and they go ahead and apply. So we've got to be able to think beyond our limitations. If you sit and you're comfortable for a long time, know that something is wrong. You've got to get out of that comfort zone, and so that's where the growth is. So my advice would be, learn those new skills. You know, when you learn new skills, when you acquire professional certifications, when you acquire the knowledge, then that gives you the confidence to actually go out there and stand out there, apply for those jobs, start that new business, undertake that new initiative, and it's going to work out. If it doesn't work out, you'll try again another time.
Until it works.
Just be there.
Push until it opens.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was such an interesting conversation with me and Bulla. Among the 3 things she suggested for a woman to grow and be a leader is to get out of her comfort zone. Comfort zone sounds good, but nothing good grows there. Get out of that comfort zone. Keep applying for new jobs, for new opportunities, and keep pushing until it opens.